Minnesota Original is made possible by the State Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota.
On this edition of Minnesota Original, Youth Performance Company has been empowering young people through the arts since 1989. YPC tackles bullying in an original drama. A two-time winner of the McKnight Fellowship for Musical Performance, Noah Hoehn layers harmonica and marimba on his live looping system. He's been playing the blues since the 60s. He produced Bonnie Raitt's debut album, and he was inducted into Minnesota's Music Hall of Fame along with Bob Dylan and Prince. Willie Murphy performs.
Shoulder to shoulder, as we both gotten older along the way.
These artists and more now on Minnesota Original.
Youth Performance Company is a theater company for young artists. We do a 4-play season. In addition to that, we offer classes and workshops throughout the year, either here at our location or we go out into schools, different community centers, that kind of thing. I started the company in 1989. You know, it's been an incredible experience for me as an artist to have this opportunity to be a part of this very rich community of artists that we have here in Minneapolis. You know, we have a number of alums that have continued to work in the entertainment industry. Some you may have heard of: Nick Swartzen, Dave Gangler, Zach Curtis, as well as Josh Hartnett. Lots and lots of people. So it's really great when we have a chance to see them go off and do so well. We're very, very proud of them.
Hey, where you been?
I don't think we should do the whole guitar thing anymore.
Oh, why not?
Because
they're
just gonna keep bugging us.
The types of productions that we put on at Youth Performance Company are very broad-based, from Broadway show to creating original works, to also oftentimes working on novels that kids hopefully are reading. We try to mix it up and make sure that the stories that we do have a very broad range.
Between 15 to 25% of kids
admit that they get bullied on a regular basis.
Another 15 to 25% say they've bullied other kids.
Which means that at least half of us aren't bullies or victims.
We're bystanders.
Our current production that we have up right now is called Mean. It is an original show that we as a company have created in response to what I personally felt was an epidemic that was going on in our communities and schools called bullying.
The show follows 3 different characters who are struggling with 3 different kinds of bullying. There's a girl who's a Somali immigrant who's Muslim, who is teased because she's different. A boy who gets teased because he's gay or because other people perceive him as being gay. And there's a girl teased by other girls about her physical appearance and the fact that she's heavier than other girls.
Hey, I tried to find you after school, but I couldn't. You okay?
No.
Wanted to make sure you weren't gonna do anything stupid. What happened? Did you see the Facebook page?
You knew about the page?
Well, Hannah told me about it this morning. I thought she was bluffing. I didn't think it actually existed.
Well, it does. It has 32 members.
So in the scene, Taylor has just seen on Facebook a page of her, and there's a picture of her and it says Fat Pig, and all these, there's people that have joined, and she is by herself and she's been crying and she's just sad, and her friend comes over and just shows support and says, you know, we're gonna fight through this together.
Taylor, believe in me, I will be a good friend.
The show is based almost entirely on interviews that I did with actual kids, but I asked them about their experiences that they had with bullying when they were younger, either being bullied or bullying other people or things that they had witnessed.
Oh, can't believe you're even allowed to go here.
Yeah, we should warn Mr. Andrews not to leave his hamster cage open. What if Phnom eats it?
Shut up!
How do you like that hamster now?
I said shut up! What is your problem with me? Does it really bother you that much that I'm different from you?
This experience, it's pushed me to go higher than what I would normally do. I got way more control over my voice from this show.
I'm proud to be a Muslim American. Mama, you know nothing.
Everybody out, please. Everybody out.
Jackie is amazing. I really love working with her. She's the reason I actually came back to YPC, because I was like, I have to work with her before I graduate.
I'm really proud of the work that you've done today, and I mean, this is the best lesson you can ever have as an actor, because when you have to go on tour and you have to slam this stuff down and you don't have the set and you don't have all the stuff, that is really hard to do.
At Youth Performance Company, we think it's such an important goal to make sure that when a young artist walks in the door, that they are getting an experience that is what I would call complete. It's not about just being on stage, but it's about what gets you to be on stage. How does that happen?
One of the things that I think is really cool about YPC is the fact that kind of whether you like it or not, you're going to be involved in all the different aspects of the show. You know, you come in and you help on work day and help build the set, and everyone has to help find costumes for everybody else. And I've heard so many people say that they know how to iron because of Jackie, because we have to iron our own costumes and all that kind of stuff.
I think I've taught more young people in the Twin Cities how to iron than anyone in the world.
Being in theater in general is especially just made me see that I really love performing, and I love the rush you get on stage, and YPC has really opened up opportunities for me doing other shows and stretching my ability as an actor, and it's given me an even bigger passion because I know that I have support behind me and push me to realize that I really should just do something that I'm passionate about, which is, you know, performing.
Won't you stand up? Won't you together stand up? Stand up. Sister, brother, make a new day. Won't you stand up?
A device that records a sample of audio and then repeats it. In its simplest form, I push a button to begin recording, and then I play a part, say harmonica. Then I push another button to stop recording and begin playback from the beginning. I can do this up to 8 times, so while the audience watches, I can record a complete song.
Looking on my way, I've got to find my way back home.
My name is Hoehn, and I'm a harmonica playing, marimba playing, percussion playing, live looper.
Find my way back home. I walk this Milky Way, I've got to find my way back home. Oh, yeah. So if my soul should find its home, I'll get on my knees and sing my praise.
I started playing harmonica when I was 16 because I loved the sound of the instrument. It was just so expressive. And I was hearing it in rock music. I went out and bought one, started playing in a little blues band, and it's kind of baptism by fire from that point. Perception that the harmonica is a toy is perpetuated by the fact that you can walk through a bookstore and see a book that says, learn to play harmonica in 10 minutes. And you would never see that for violin, and you would never see that for jazz guitar or piano. You know, learn to play violin in 10 minutes. You know, it's crazy. You can get a melody pretty quickly on harmonica, but after that, you know, I think it's just as hard as any other instrument. The marimba was something that I learned through my percussion background. I started playing it in high school, and then I was on scholarship for percussion in college. I just loved the sound of the instrument, resonating, and just the physicality of using 4 mallets, you know, to strike. It was, I thought it was love. I just loved the sound of it.
More than luck.
There was a point in my career where I had to decide if I was just going to continue being a sideman or if I wanted to have my own show. And that's what started the concept of having a looping show. I wanted to play harmonica, but I also wanted to sing. So the way to achieve that was through looping. And then there came a point where I wanted to add more instruments and other influences. I didn't want to just be blues. So I thought, why not just throw the marimba in the mix, and cajon, kashishi, udu, you know, all these great percussion sounds that I love too. It takes insane focus. It is really, truly compartmentalizing your creativity. I have to have a lot of things on autopilot and at the same time not focus on one thing because I don't forget the other thing. If I'm singing a line and also playing marimba, I'm also thinking about what I have to execute with looping. It's not as fun as other groups I've played with, but it is extremely more satisfying. When I am on stage, I really need to be focused and centered and not be distracted. So I don't really get to enjoy the moment too much.
I need to be kind of zen. But that being said, when I get done with a song and I've executed it perfectly, and I've also, sung my butt off, and I think, got my message out effectively, there's no feeling like that. It's like no other feeling I've felt when playing with a group.
I'm really interested in the psychology and the human condition, and I think working with the figure evokes this emotional response with the viewer that other subject matter really can't do. All of the little girls are a representation of myself, and the old man is my grandfather. I'm J M Culver, and I'm a figurative artist. My work is influenced specifically of growing up around my grandfather who suffered from schizophrenia, and it's a way of working through my own anxieties and frustrations and vulnerabilities of childhood. I never actually use photographs of my grandfather. I think that would make it too difficult. I would focus too much on the likeness. Visual journaling really helps me piece together my ideas. A lot of it's very fragmented. I appropriate from vintage photography and sketches and imagination. And this image was actually taken out of a National Geographic vintage magazine that I have. I do more writing and research than I actually do sketches. I don't want to spend too much time making this very specific sketch and then trying to copy it. I want it to still be intuitive. I work large because I find it very challenging, and I like the physicality of moving up and down on the ladder and getting on the floor and using my entire body working on the surface, and it really helps me with my anxiety and any emotions that I have. I don't want to spend too much time and overwork a piece, and so I'd rather work really fast and just get it out there, and if it doesn't work, then tear it down and move to the next. I work in a lot of layers, almost in a sculptural way of carving them out and scratching into the surface, putting these veils of acrylic and the smudgy atmospheric and charcoal. I'm interested in my work appearing realistic from far off, and as the viewer comes closer up to the work, it begins to fall apart, and you can see the loose mark making on the surface, and you can see the more abstract marks. A lot of people see my work and they're able to relate with their own experiences, and they definitely have an emotional response to it. I've had a few people say my work is disturbing. I think that maybe when you're first glancing at certain pieces, it can appear disturbing, or maybe certain pieces appear sweet, but I think there's a lot of layers underneath. The Pinocchio in my drawings represents childhood and also the idea of the real and artificial self in relation to my grandfather of wanting to be perceived as this real human being instead of as mental illness or as a symbol of anxiety. The threads that are connecting Pinocchio are twisting around and going up to these birds that are trying to fly away and represent freedom, but the figure is completely grounded at the same time. The little girl's stare is actually looking past the viewer, and it's very serious, and it feels like almost lost. I don't think it's completely important that everyone knows that it's specifically about schizophrenia, because it's not a literal representation of schizophrenia, but that's my specific memory and the influence of the work. So I'm very selective when I'm adding color in a piece. A lot of pieces I wanted to add color, but I've held back. I just felt like it wasn't appropriate. and it didn't have specific meaning. I'm moving to working on cradled masonite pieces that have a very labor-intensive layering process. It's the first piece that I've done in full color. I think it's very important that for these pieces to be life-size so they confront the viewer. I don't think they would work very well on a small scale. It is a little bit of a challenge to show my work of finding gallery space that is large enough to accommodate. Some of my pieces are at least 13 feet tall. My heart beats really fast when I'm putting up the drawings. It's really nerve-wracking and it's very stressful until I'm able to step away and take a breath and the process is over with. When there's first some waves or a tear, I get really upset about it and it bothers me and I feel like it ruined the drawing. And then over time when I see it like this, I think it really adds to the piece and the physicality and the visceral quality of it. I want to be able to work out my own demons and my own experiences and be able to understand the past as well as the present. But I want the viewer to be able to connect to it and for there to be this emotional response that really resonates with them.
Along the way, we both know by now what we all about. You know you're the one girl that I can't live without. No ifs, ands, and babies, you're tied to me, baby. Hey, 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 hey. I'll be here when you're feeling sad. I'll be here when life treats you bad, man, I ain't going nowhere. Baby, I'll be here. Our love begins as a mystery. Now our love becomes our beautiful history. Now as we go on down this long, winding road, the mystery of love is how it grows and it grows. Yes, we shared joys and we shared yearning. It's not over yet, but this love keeps on burning. And love sure feels fine when you loved a long time. Oh, and don't I love you, baby. Yes, I do. Now, what comes tomorrow, nobody can say. Some days the sun shines, some days it rains. When life gets heavy, together we'll bear it. All the good and the bad, girl, together we'll share it. I'll be here. I'll be here.
bad, I'll be here. I'll be here. When life treats you sad, man, I ain't going nowhere. Baby, I'll be here. I'll be here. I'll be here. Think this ain't right, I'll be here. I'll be right here. I'll be holding you tight. I ain't going nowhere. Baby, I'll be here. I'll be here.
Minnesota Original is made possible by the State Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota.